No Man's Sky has been one of the most anticipated games of this generation for the last few years. The game was announced back in December of 2013, right after the PlayStation 4 was launched, and almost instantaneously became one of the most promising games on the PS4 and later announced to be coming to the PC as well. For those that don't know, what is No Man's Sky? It's an adventure survival game where you play as a planetary explorer in an unknown universe. You explore the universe, which is comprised of several planets, and when I say several, we're talking in the ballpark of 18 quintillion. Each of these planets is its own open world with other life forms, collectibles, and so on. You'll be able to talk to the NPCs, find information, and upload them to the online database known as the Atlas and battle against the hostile Sentinels. So essentially, it's many open worlds in a giant open universe. Sounds pretty crazy. Obviously, no one will be able to actually explore every 18 quintillion planet. Developer Hello Games says that 99.9% of the planets will never be explored. However, it seems like the sheer amount of content in the game is staggering. The planets aren't the only things in the world that are procedurally generated and dynamic, from things like the stars, life forms, ecosystems. It's all created as you play. As an explorer, you'll have access to a spacesuit with a jetpack, a multi-tool that can scan, mine, and collect resources, and a spacecraft that will let you travel from planet to planet. Now, your ship is one of the core elements of the game. It can only explore so far, and how far you can go is limited by the range of the hyperspace jump engine it carries. As that increases, so will your ability to explore the universe. When you first boot up No Man's Sky, you'll be placed on a planet at the edge of the universe. From there, it's open court for you to do whatever you want. While the game doesn't have a specific goal, the idea behind it is to explore many planets and upgrade your ship enough to the point where you can reach the center of the galaxy. What's at the center of the galaxy? The most exotic planets with more valuable resources. Hello Games' Sean Murray estimates that to get to the center of the galaxy would take roughly 40 hours, but obviously the game doesn't stop there. There's so much more to the game, but that's the general idea. It's easy to tell why people are so excited for No Man's Sky. Survival games, especially on PC, are more popular than ever, and games with gigantic open worlds are some of the best-selling games on the market. And it seems like in today's gaming climate, just about every big studio is trying to make games with a lot of content and explorable worlds. No Man's Sky has a lot of content, and there are so many worlds to explore that to a lot of gamers, it looks like a very attractive experience. And hearing all of that, you can probably tell that this is one of the most ambitious games ever. And with that kind of ambition, you would think that a gigantic studio would be working on it, but that's not the case at all. Hello Games are behind No Man's Sky. Those are the guys that actually put out the excellent Joe Danger games, but obviously No Man's Sky is on a different level in terms of scope compared to Joe Danger. And going from a smaller indie game like Joe Danger to No Man's Sky is pretty insane, but that's what the team's doing. It's still a very small studio, but they have been determined to get this game out. No Man's Sky has seen a turbulent road. It was announced 2.5 years ago, and we're only now close to the release. This is such a huge game that it's understandable that it would take a long time to put out, but at the same time, gamers have gotten a bit frustrated. It was scheduled to be released on June 21st of this year, but it was delayed for a few weeks until August 9th. This led to some fan backlash, but at the end of the day, the game was delayed for the sake of quality. Hello Games even decided to skip out on E3 this year, which would have been a critical point for them to promote the game. Instead, they decided to continue working on No Man's Sky behind the scenes to assure that it reaches the standard they are hoping for. Even so, when games so ambitious are made, history has told us they go one of two ways. Either they're a big hit and gamers really stay connected to the experience for a long time, or the initial hype slowly dies off after release and no one is talking about the game a few months after. And again, with this game being created by such a small studio, it is the kind of game where it's a lot of eggs in one basket, but at the same time, that's very respectable. For them to create a game that on the surface looks so innovative, it's all the more alluring. Hello Games also seems committed to update the game post-release, but they have said that there are no plans for post-game DLC, which does make a lot of sense, since how do you really sell DLC for a game that has as much content as this? There has been a lot of skepticism in regards to No Man's Sky recently, with its long development time, recent delays, and the general unknowing of how a game like this will all work. It's gotten some to get off the hype train. But the most exciting thing about No Man's Sky may be the fact that it's so unpredictable. We don't really know what we're gonna get with it. Will it be this amazing, ever-evolving universe that gamers will be absolutely absorbed into, or will it get very repetitive and will the luster die out quickly? I hope for the best out of the game, and I do think at the very least we will be awed by the sheer scope of the game come August 9th. So what do you think? Are you still excited for No Man's Sky, or has your hype died down since its initial reveal? Will you be picking it up day one? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.